I'm Selena Spencer again. Welcome to MoveThroughFaith.com. I'm here today with Adrian Florence, who's going to give us his personal testimony. I'm going to ask you a few questions, Adrian.
Sure.
What is your definition of faith? As I've been interviewing other people, I've mentioned to them, we are all aware of the biblical scripture of Hebrews 11:1, that faith is the substance of things hoped for. But what is your personal definition of faith?
It's I don't know if, because we learned that hope as a Christian means that you've already believed that it's going to happen. So faith for me is through the trials and the tribulations, through the hard times, knowing that, at the end of the day, I'm going to get through this storm, and God's going to see me through it, and it's just going to be, the reason I'm going through it is so that I can help someone else who's going to go through a very similar situation successfully get through.
Okay. How has faith helped you in your everyday problems in life?
Unfortunately, it probably helps me more during those really hard times, as opposed to, you'd like to say you walk with faith all the time, but it's really when those situations and circumstances that are challenging come up when your faith is tested. So I guess, we have that faith. We know we have it, I don't want to say it's, in your pocket, but you walk with faith, but you don't really pull it out unless there's there's something that's going on in your life where you're like, I need my faith right now through this situation. And when I got laid off from work, knowing that day I had peace because I knew that God had something bigger and better for me on the other side. And lo and behold, He did. So that faith, whilst others that don't believe can go through the exact same thing, they'll struggle. Whereas people that have faith will know, they'll have that peace that passes all understanding. So Christians, it sounds like a cliche, but it's the truth. It does surpass non-believers' understanding. Like, how can they be so calm and so collected? And it's just like, I have faith. That's really the bottom line.
Okay. Just from knowing you from church, I've heard like little pockets of your testimonies, like your different testimonies and trials of things that you've gone through, especially your experience with being in the hospital, and then the experience of you losing your job. Like for people that are going to listen to this that are Christians and have been Christians for a long time and do believe in God, but still struggle with faith, how does faith define your existence? How can you tell people out here how faith defined you?
I think one of the better examples, and I'll actually speak to it, is not an example of my own faith, but that of my wife's, which was when I was going through an ailment, just putting it mildly. I had to have heart surgery because I had an inflammation which caused my heart to be more than twice the size it's supposed to be. The outer layers had been was crushing it, so it was unable to pump properly.
Right.
When I finally got to the hospital, the doctor said that if I didn't have surgery that day or the next day, that I'd probably have another 24 hours to survive.
Wow.
Now, that's one of those times where it's like, let me go ahead and pull my faith out of my pocket and use it.
Right.
I couldn't find it. But fortunately, my wife, who was there the entire time, she had that faith, and she believed, and she prayed, and she called my mom, who had faith to spare, and together they called along, some other folks that got together and they prayed, and their faith carried me through the surgery, through the complications in the surgery, that things always happen. Lungs collapsed, had pneumonia, I had all the blood vessels in my eyes burst, so I was looking crazy.
Right.
Those things we were able to get through as a family because of the faith of those around me who circled around me and prayed and believed, and because of their faith, I was carried through.
So it necessarily wasn't your faith that you had at that time,
Right.
but it was the faith of other people.
Correct.
So sometimes when, as Christians, when we're going through things and we don't have that pocket of faith to pull out, we need to call on other people to
carry that
to
cross
go on
for
your
us.
behalf, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So how has faith in God changed you permanently now? When you now go through situations as you have been in, with losing the job and having the heart surgery and seeing other people surround you, how has that changed you? So now when you go through trials, is it easier for you, or do you see your faith still wavering?
I think it. I'll say this. I think that as I go through things now, I definitely my faith has gotten stronger and stronger, day by day, year by year. So I think, and I love to believe that it's bigger than just me having that faith. But I'd like to say that I think that those around me, my friends, including non-believers, can see that, as things come up, because no matter what, things are going to happen to everyone. It says rains on the just and the unjust. Things are going to happen. But as situations come up, my faith being stronger now, and as I go through situations, that the people on the outside looking in will see that that's not necessarily the same person that I saw a couple of years ago. Had that person gone through this, that's not the same Adrian, And if they see that, they'll say, you know what, there may be something about that, and that they want to know more. So I'm hoping
to gravitate towards.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I'm hoping that my faith will be a magnet that others can come to, have their own faith in God.
Right. What would you like to tell viewers today? Because we're on our last question and we're bringing the interview to a close. For people out there, because this website is not just for believers. It's for people who are on the fence with faith. And then it's for people who are believers but kind of backslide or feel like their troubles have overweighed them and that they don't see faith anymore. Like they don't see the faith in God. What could you enlighten them about?
It's all about testing God in the sense where, as you go through things, even if you've never done it before, just take the chance and believe that God will carry you through. Just take that chance, pray, and believe that God will see you through that situation. And if you have that stance and you truly believe and you truly thank God now for what He's going to do on the other side, I would challenge anyone to come back and say that they did that and they did not have that situation resolved on the other side, and that they would be able to say, you know what, it was only because of God that I was able to get through.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking this time.
My pleasure.
Again, we're with Adrian Florence, and we're signing out with MoveThroughFaith.com. Thanks.
Thank you.